Male, female, or did it matter?
I was me.
Okay.
And one of them I said, well, how will I give birth? I don't have a uterus. And another one I said, well, I'm a man. What will people think? And another one I said, well, I'm so busy. How will I take care of this child?
Yeah.
It was a year later, after I gave up my clinic and I was doing the healing full time, I realized Spirit was telling me I was giving birth.
Interesting.
See, dreams are almost always symbolic, not the actual fact.
Well, can I just share one little dream that I had the other night? I had a dream that somebody was sharing the fact that they got $12,449 in a bonus.
Okay.
What would that mean? Since it was my dream,
Well,
and I saw somebody else.
now, of course, only the dreamer knows the exact meaning of the dream because you had the dream, you created it. But it could say you're seeing something positive happen to that person. Doesn't necessarily mean it's that amount of money, but it could be something positive. It's the symbolism. You saw that as a windfall, something positive. You look at the symbolism rather than the actual event.
Okay, I'll think more about that. Awesome.
For instance, like I used to be a competitive bodybuilder in the 1970s. I used to train 7 days a week, twice a day. So one day I have a dream that I'm Robin Hood.
You're Robin Hood or Robbing Hood?
No, Robin Hood.
Oh, okay, Robin Hood.
Robin
Okay.
Hood.
Oh,
and I meet Little
Spirit
John.
has a sense of humor, huh?
Yeah, and I meet
Okay.
Little John, but
Okay.
instead of fighting with a wooden staff, we start fighting with a metal bar.
Oh.
And he gets it around my throat and starts choking me. And I say, stop it, you're choking me. And I wake up and I go, well, that's neat. I like being a hero. But why was it a metal bar and not a wooden staff? What did the metal bar remind me of?
What did it remind you of?
Barbells. I was training 7 days a week, twice a day. I was choking myself.
Oh.
And that's what the dream was saying.
Oh.
He was choking me with the bar.
So it's never literal. It's,
Yeah,
symbolic.
It's not
and
saying,
metaphor.
okay, go to marry New England and become Robin Hood, you know. It's like, what is that saying?
Sometimes my brain gets twisted that I have to sort things out.
You got to
like
look
that.
at the symbolism. So,
Well, that's a key element right here for all of you viewers out there. If you're going to take a step of faith on your own.
it's like knowing that this is Fort Wayne, Indiana, I had a dream, which
Yes.
actually I wrote to the coach from the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
In the dream, the quarterback says, how are we going to ever get back to the Super Bowl? And I say, let me show you. And I pick him up on my shoulder, and I start carrying him. And I thought, well, that's a very presumptive dream, but it's very symbolic. I'm going to help them get back to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I can see that.
Now, of course, I've worked with the National Football League now for the last 6 years as a spiritual healer, not as a therapist. And what we see when I work with the players is increased athletic performance, which can be measured. So it's not only being a healer and helping to overcome injuries, it's seeing a significant number of them being faster in the 40, a significant number lifting more weight. Well, in pro sports, the slightest increase could make winning that game, or tackling that quarterback, or escaping from the defensive back, you know, on a pass downfield, or finding the opening just a split second before the linebacker, you know, hits you. So I can see that.
I can see this too, and what I'm very excited about is I can see how Spirit has its blend in public service, utilizing all of your gifts and all the gifts on the planet.
Yeah, God's unlimited.
God's unlimited. It intrigues me too, in the last 5 minutes we have, to share how much it's incorporated in everything. Like the dream that you talked about. You can be used in all things.
All things. Well, that's why I said I felt very motivated to lecture on holistic health and spiritual healing, because I think they tie together. You know, I mentioned when I scan over people, I see energy fields. Well, people say, well, how do these energy fields get depleted? That's why I lecture on holistic health. Stress, strain, fatigue, diet, injuries, attitudes, emotions, heredity, lots of things.
That's a lot.
But that's why I tell people, do your part. But if you're still stuck and you're doing everything, ask God for help.
Well, I'll be the first to ask, because sometimes living in both worlds, Angels at God Central Station and my, real life and the transformation and all of that to what's coming through in the planet, for me, I'm just, maybe I need a doctor like you.
That's why they nicknamed me Dial-A-Doc.
Dial-A-Doc?
Because the person calls, I have back pain and I work on them over the phone, they feel better. Or they said,
Wow.
They needed a career healing, like my friend who got the coaching job. He needed a career healing. He was a college coach, and he got the job with the pros.
Career. Ooh, that sounds fun too. That's another episode. Can you believe almost 25 minutes flew by already?
Sure, when you're having fun.
Yeah. Well, what is the most sought after? What is the most important question then that people ask you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm asked so many different things. But you know, usually when people inquire, they usually want to know if I can help them with a particular condition. And I always say, well, I'm not doing the healing. God's doing the healing. And all I need from people is permission and awareness. So whatever the condition is, you just describe it to me as simply as possible, and then I'll just get out of the way and let God do the work.
So I'm going to also put in here, you're traveling.
Yep.
You're traveling in how? How are you traveling?
I travel in an RV that pulls my car, but I check my phone messages 365 days a year, every 4 or 5 hours.
How can Angels at God Central Station help you today? How can we best support you?
Well,
get the word out?
Yep, tell my people my website and phone number, and I get back to them.
Well, I am, again, still so excited. I can barely sit in my seat. I feel like a little kid sitting here bringing out all of this wonderful news, good news, healing messages here today. And our time is up. We have to leave. Can you believe that?
Well, thank you.
Would you please come back again and share some more information about the two worlds and
Sure.
other stuff?
My pleasure.
Your pleasure?
Yep.
Oh, gosh, I'm so excited. Will you help me end the show now? It's real easy.
Okay.
It's all about love.
Okay.
Divine love and holy kisses. I'll call you in because it is time to end the show and we have to go.
Okay.
Thank you all again for taking your time to stop, look, and listen in our divine appointment here today. I'm Sandra Lynch here with the one, the only one, Dr. Saul Shaye. Oh, I'm touching you. I'm getting the healing now. Thank you so much for coming back. And thank you again for watching another episode of the show today. And with that, we both can say divine love and holy kisses. See you next time.
A world of thanks for watching Angels Talk, Soul Relationships. If you have a question or comment for Sandra, please feel free to email her at sandra@AngelsAtGodCentralStation.org. That's Sandra, S-A-N-D-R-A, at AngelsAtGodCentralStation, all one word, .org. We also invite you to visit our website, www.AAGCS.org. Please join us again next week for another edition of Angels Talk.